Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Where there is reason, there is no love. Where there is love, there is no reason. And therefore, those who love with reason, they love reasonably, not perfectly. Like, if we find out the cause behind love, we'll come to know that love is of two kinds. There is one love in which the boy and the girl, they fall in love. Isn't it? One young boy and girl came and met me and said, Swamiji, please bless us. I said, what wrong you have done? They said, Swamiji, we have fallen in love. So I condoled. Did you get hurt anywhere? No, Swami. So one love is that love where we fall. See? So this love is an action. See? And whenever anything is a result of action, it begins in time and it ends in time. Now the second type of love is the one which does not fall in the category of action. So one is a love between the mother and the child. See, when the child is born, so many instructions are given for the new mother by both her mother and the mother-in-law. Today something more wrong. So every instruction is given. Don't eat this, don't eat that, do this thing, do that thing. Don't read criminal novels. Don't eat non-vegetarian food. See, all things are told. But no new mother is ever told, love your child. Because the love for the child happens. It is not done. Now the same lady who loves her child, for that there is no reason. Because the child is not other than me. The child is nothing but an extension of the mother. Therefore, that love where we are able to discover some common denominator, that love is beyond reason. Otherwise, I go to so many places for taking food. Oh, Mr. Arvind is very nice person. Why? Because he is helping me. One day he cannot help me. He is a very bad person. Why? He couldn't help me. See, friends. Therefore, wherever there is a reason why I love somebody, that cause will destroy the pure love. See, friends. And therefore, this pure love can be for whom and for what? Let us start thinking. In Upanishad, one mantra comes. Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. Everything in this world is dear to us for our own sake. See, this morning I was going for a walk with Arvind Bhai and we saw people running, then dogs also. And then we were talking about that these people, they love dogs so much. What could be the reason? How can they love the dog so much? I said, look here, the dog is not loved for the sake of the dog. It is my pet. Because with the dog you can love conveniently. See? Sometime, mic is okay now.
Huh?
Oh, I'm all right.
Just a bit closer, please.
I can put it inside my mouth. So, this was already changed microphone. You may start moving your ears, that will be easier. So, the love for the pet is love for convenience. See? How this love is for the pet? We come from work. And after we come, that doggy is only waiting. Basrika. And when we come, he will jump upon us and then start doing the whitewash. And we feel, my doggy loves me so much. See? Those who don't love human beings, they love dogs. Now try to do the same kind of love with a human being. The kind of love we do with the dog. See? So one day I come very successful in the outer world, and when I come home, my dog is already trained. The moment I enter, he must jump out of his skin, climb over me and show that he loves, because he gets the mineral requirement through my perspiration. And then the dog goes away. His duty is done. Tomorrow, next day I come home. And when I come home, I was totally frustrated for the whole day. Failure, kick, disgusted, insulted, frustrated, and that me I come home. The doggy doesn't know. He knows only default settings. The moment I come, he must jump and start doing. So as usual he came, and I was so angry, I just gave him one. You get out from here. Now what the doggy will do? Put his antenna below and go below the sofa. And then in a frustrated mood, I open my bottle, empty, and fill in the drum. And when I become liquid spiritualist, then I remember, Tommy, the Tommy comes up and starts doing again. First I kicked him, he has forgotten. Try to do the same thing with your relations. See, friends, our love for the dog is not for the sake of the dog, it is for our convenience. So that love, which is for our convenience, it is not real love. See, friends, that love in which we don't fall. Normally people say that I have fallen in love. Then please rise above. We have to rise in love, not fall in love. See? And to rise in love, we must have something higher in life. See? That higher aspect in love is called as devotion. And the lower aspect in love is called as attachment. Love we all have because that is our essential nature. Please understand, love is not a thought. See, I love myself. This is not a thought. This is an experience. This is a thought-free experience. So this pure love that I have for myself, when this love is Godwards, it is bhakti or devotion. When the same love or the preeti, Sanskrit word is preeti, when the preeti is dogwards, not Godwards. When the priti is downwards, it is called as asakti, attachment. And what is asakti? Jo ja sakti. That which can go. See, friends. Therefore, the pure love is only when we do not reason out why I love somebody or something. Now we start earning lot of money. Suppose I am told by somebody, Swamiji, I put in your account $1 million. But on one condition, you cannot withdraw $1. What is the use of that? So the money I don't love for the sake of money. I want that money so that I can fulfill my desires, indulgence. See? So the money is not required for the sake of money, but from that money I purchase goods and then I can indulge. And then we are told, a terrorist comes with a gun in the hand. See? Give your all property, all the golden ornaments, or else I'll shoot you. Take and go. So the possessions that we have, we don't love those possessions. Money we love for ourselves. The possessions we love for ourselves. See? And then the third thing that we seek in our life is the path of righteousness called as dharma. Sin and merit. Sin and merit have no meaning unless I is there. So I have done something good. Why do you do good something? So that I will get some merit. And then what will happen? Then I will go to the heavens. See? So the sin or the merit are not for their sake, it is for my sake. And ultimately, I love myself, not for any other reason. So the love which is beyond reason is the love for the self. Now be very attentive. We recognize this world, what we have recognized ourselves. See, if I consider myself to be Indian, then what will be my perception of this world? The world consists of two types of people, Indians and non-Indians. If I consider myself to be Gujarati, then there are two types of people, Gujjus and non-Gujjus. If I consider myself to be a sannyasi, then the world consists of two types of people. Those who are married and those who are happy. Two types of people. If I consider myself to be rich, then the world has two types of people, rich and poor. So our perception of the world is what we perceive ourselves. See, friends, once in India somewhere, there was a group of people, some discussion and all that, and they said, Swamiji, we want your opinion. About what? They are talking about 33% reservation for the ladies. Okay? This is what we are talking. What is your opinion? I said, I disagree. So they said, ladies said, we know you will always disagree. You are against the ladies. I said, you keep on talking, it makes no difference. Because you are not listening me fully. When I say I disagree with 33% reservation for the ladies, what I say, there should be 100% reservation for the ladies. Let them drive the cars, let them fly the aeroplanes, let them run the government, let them do everything. And we manage job. Ladies, gents, everywhere. We are only at a very physical level. We don't want to grow above. See, friends, and if I consider myself to be the pure consciousness, expressing through this body, then my perception of this world will be, this whole world is my extension alone. See, this thought comes in the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. एताम विभूतिम योगम च मम यो वेत्ति तत्वतः सः अविकम्पेन योगेन युज्यते नात्र संशयः. In the 10th chapter, Bhagavan Sri Krishna tells Arjuna, Arjuna, I shall tell you something supreme, having known which nothing remains to be known, and there won't be any doubt whatsoever in your mind. Doubt-free experience is joy. Doubt-free experience is God realization. So what is that experience? Which is pure love. That experience, the teacher says, this whole world is nothing but an expression of the divine being. First step. Like we say, all the lights in this hall and everywhere in the whole world, they are the expressions of electrical energy. All the gadgets which are working on this source of energy, they are all the expressions of the same source, the electrical energy. See, will we say that the bulb which is giving light has a light electricity behind it, and the mic which is amplifying the voice or the sound has amplifying electricity? Or will we say that the fan which is supported by the electricity, it is movement electricity? No. One and the same. So when we look at the light, what is our conclusion? Conclusion is there is electrical energy available. Be very attentive. Effects determine the existence of the cause. Cause is always unmanifest. Effects only are manifest. Love, pure love, unreasonable love, love beyond reason is the cause. And this causeless existence, which cannot be known, is only manifested in effect. Take for example, as a child, I don't know what is the tradition here, but we are seeing during our childhood, the mother is normally loving and understanding and helping us whatever foolishness we do. But father is normally a Hitler brand. He wants you to be disciplined. Don't do this, don't do that. Get up in the morning, do your bed. You can't live like that. Lift your plate, wash it there, keep properly. Don't throw the shoes. Study properly. All the time with a stick in the hand. That time, what is the understanding of the child? Or another child, small child, playing in the dust and mud and all that, and the mother sees, now this is a time for the child to give bath and make him clean. So the mother calls the child. And the child doesn't want to come. See? And she pulls him, removes all the clothes, puts water, and starts applying the soap and scrubbing with a stone. So dirty. That time, what is the experience of the child? He thinks, if there is a today, it is my mother. He just doesn't want anything. See? So the manifestation of that child's love for the child was misunderstood by the child. See, when the father scolds the child or when mother disciplines the child, it is an expression of love. But the question is, are we able to recognize that this is an expression of love? See, friends, in the same manner, this total world is the expression of the divinity. Although this total world is the expression of divinity, the question is, are we able to recognize this? If we are able to recognize this, like if we know whatever my mom or dad does for me, it is out of sheer love, then our attitude towards them will change. In the same manner, that love which is limited in time, space, object, play and people, that love is attachment. And wherever there is attachment, it is a burden. It is not a freedom. Pure love does not bind you. See, in Narad Bhakti Sutra, the devotion is defined. There it is said, Tasmin Sukha Sukhitvam. Suppose I love Arvind Bhai. Then what should be my pure love and love as attachment? Love and attachment will be, he should do whatever I want. And what is pure love? Pure love is, whatever he is happy, it is acceptable to me. See the difference? So if we have recognized this pure love, then we will be able to see the divine presence in and through the total creation. See? And what are those expressions? Here in the 10th chapter, Bhagavan Sri Krishna gives a big list. And out of that list, even if we take 2-3 of them, it is enough for us to recognize. See? Buddhi jnanam asammohaha Kshama satyam damashamaha sukham dukkham bhavo bhavaha bhayam cha bhayamevacha ahimsa samata tushti tapodanam yasho yashaha bhavanti bhava bhutana matta eva prutakvidha. All expressions of life, whatever it may be, every expression of life is possible only because of the touch of the divine presence. See? Even the disease is possible because of him. If you go and try to conduct some survey, incidence of cancer in the Catholic graveyard, there cannot be cancer in a dead body. So every expression of life is possible only because of his touch. And if we accept it theoretically only, then we start our interaction with the world with pure love. There is no reason required. Why should we love or why should we hate? No. It is beyond any reason or logic. And this will be possible only if we have discovered our pure conscious existence. Therefore, the love beyond reason will be possible only when we have discovered our divine nature. Now there are two things for the love or the devotion to be invoked in our heart. One is interaction with the world with theoretical love. And what is theoretical love? Accept everything and being as they are. Very simple. Take an example. Somewhere I went, and when we go to somebody's house, before our arrival, the people talk, and there were two kids in that house, twins, one boy and a girl. They keep on talking. Do you know, no Swamiji is coming in our house. You should not do any nonsense, okay? You should behave properly. You should not pay. The children are having a hype. Now Swamiji is coming, Swamiji is coming. So when I went to somebody's house, right from the main gate, the girls are always smart than the boys. So the girl, hardly maybe about 6 years, 7 years, 5 years, she came running and like an Alsatian jumped on me. So I caught hold of her, hugged her, kissed her. The moment I kissed her, she said, Swamiji, I don't like your beard. Then I told her, I don't like you, go away. Then her brother, twin brother, he also came running. And he also jumped. The same, whatever sister has done, he has to do. And then again I lifted him, kissed him, and he started playing with me. Swamiji, your beard is so cute, I like it so much. Now tell me, between these two, whom I will like? The one who accepted me as I am. See? That is pure love. Our problem is in winter, oh God, it is too cold, it is too cold. Then God says, okay, summer comes and then the heat is set. Oh God, it's too hot, it's too hot. There also we complain. Then okay, never mind. Then the God sends the rains. Oh, it's too much raining. Bhagwan says, this fellow is a complaint box. Don't listen to him. And that is why the God doesn't listen to our prayers. Because our prayers are nothing but complaints. See friends, pure love is that love where there are no complaints. See friends, don't we do this thing with ourselves? See, one day one young person asked, not young, middle-aged person asked me this question. Swamiji, you have been talking on Gita throughout your life. Don't you get bored? The same Bhagavad Gita, the same Arjuna, the same Krishna, the same Brahman. Don't you get bored? I said, I'll reply it later. First, you reply my question. What is your age? He said, Swamiji, you should not ask age. I said, you are not a lady, you are a man. Ladies don't grow, men grow. So, okay, I am 60. Very good. How many times you looked into the mirror? Oh, hundreds and thousands of times. Did you any time get bored? So when you stand before the mirror, oh God, the same face. No. I may be old, the leg may be not stable, even then I can see. Because wherever we see ourselves, love is natural. And that love manifests, expresses. Like, the parents, whatever they could not enjoy as a child, every father lives his childhood through his own son. When we were children, we never used to get even shoes to put on, Therefore, now my son, he wants every month one new pair of shoes. Oh, okay, beta, take it. When we were children, we used to get only inherited pant. From the first brother, the pant used to go to the seventh brother. We never have purchased a new pant for ourselves. But now my son, if he wants, let him buy the old shop. Because every father tries to live his childhood through his son, because his son is his own extension. See friends, therefore, when we recognize this conscious principle as our essential nature, and the same conscious principle is expressing through the total creation, then that love will be beyond reason. Now to understand this point, let us take this understanding. We see by our eyes. Our eyes can see every color, every form. There is no biasness for the eyes. And I will not see the red color. Whatever color, whatever form comes, the eyes eliminate. Similarly, the ears, they hear every kind of word. Somebody is praising you, oh, you are sweet darling, but you are stupid of the highest order. Both the words are heard by the same ears. Ears are not affected by that. In the same manner, the mind supports both the thoughts, noble ignoble. Divine, devilish. Mind is not affected by that. This is our essential nature. Necessarily come to recognize this principle. We are untouched by anything in this world. And when we are untouched by anything in this world, will the space have fear for the earth? Will the space have fear for the waters? Will the space have fear for the fire? Will the space have fear for the air? It cannot. In the same manner, the one who is living in pure love, he lives a fearless existence. Normally, our love is fearful. See? Once I was going somewhere after 9/11 by flight from Bombay to probably Australia. And because of the 9/11, many people cancelled their tickets. So when I went checked in 5 minutes I came out after the checking in. So my friend asked, how come you came so quickly out? I said, there is nobody on the counter except me. So I got it. Then what is the reason? I said, I also asked. They say many people have cancelled. Out of 370 seats, only 70 people were going because of that fear. So they asked me, then why do you go? You cancel. I said, no, I am not afraid. Suppose something happens, I said, it's very good if it happens. Because when you die alone, thereafter you don't know where to go. There is no company. But when a plane crashes, 70 of us will die together. Then we'll go together somewhere. Have satsang. What's the problem? Pure love does not contain any element of fear. We send our children here and there, and all the time fear. Everything is okay. Every 5 minutes phone. Are you breathing? Yes. How many times you are breathing? Keep breathing. Don't stop. Okay? Is it love? Mm-hmm. Pure love is that. There is no fear. And that fearlessness can come only if we have discovered our real nature. And see how simple it is. This is a very simple thought, friends. Mind expresses through the 5 sense organs in 5 different ways. That does not make that there are 5 minds. Therefore, the mind is not biased for different sense organs. Second thing, the sense organs are also not having competition with each other. Because all of them are expression of the same mind. See? One day I was taking food and my eyes started crying. I said, hey eyes, why are you crying? See, this tongue, she gets all the taste, good food, sweet, chutney, achar, and I have to simply look at it. I don't get to taste. So I told my eyes, don't cry, I'll give you chutney. I took chutney and there is no competition among sense organs. There is no biasness for the mind towards sense organs. See, friends, go one step further. In the same manner, one conscious reality is expressing through everything and being. Same reality. Like one electrical energy expresses through all the gadgets. If we recognize ourselves as expression of the divinity, like the sense organs do not compete with each other, we will not compete with each other. And when we don't compete with each other, we are happy in the happiness of others. But when we compete, I know how he has constructed that big house. All black money. We are not happy. in the happiness of others. See, friends, because jealousy, competition. Pure love is that love wherein we are not jealous. We don't compete with anybody. See, friends, then alone we lead our life fearlessly. So, the absolute conscious reality expressing through the inert world as only existence. The same conscious reality expressing through the plant kingdom as life plus existence. The same reality expressing through the animal kingdom as existence, life and knowledge. The same conscious reality expressing through the human beings as existence, life, knowledge and love. See, friends. Therefore, our life can be fulfilled only if this pure love is manifesting through us. See, friends. And what is the pure love? I read one beautiful story. There was a child. He was always asking his mother. Mom tells, do this thing. Okay, I will do. What will you give me? Okay, you write down the whole thing, I'll give you later. For every small little thing, he'll note it down. And then he left a big slip on the dining table for mom. Dear mom, today's bill. I opened the door when somebody came, $1. I closed the door, $1. Then I have shifted this thing to that thing, $1. Total bill, $25. Kept it for the mother. Then the mother wrote another paper. I carried you for 9 months, 0. I have washed your dirty linens for so many years, 0. I have been cooking for you every day, 0. When you were ill, I have taken care of you. So many things. Bill, only love. See, that love which demands anything in return, it is not love. Love is a sacrifice. It is not demanding. See? One couple, after 15 years of marriage, I happened to go to their house. So when I went to their house, they said, Swamiji, we have some problem. I said, don't tell me problem. Problems are everywhere. Tell me something different. Do you remember I came to your marriage? Yes, Swamiji, we remember. I said, do you remember what I told you that time? When you get married, you are one. Mathematics of marriage is not 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. No. 1 plus 1 is equal to only 1. Swamiji, that is the problem. What is the problem? Which one? If you remain one, then only pure love can remain. See, friends. Therefore, let us come to recognize this principle. And although we have not experienced, let us start practicing it. The first practice of love without reason is accepting things and beings as they are. If anybody, we want an improved edition, it's not pure love. See? Normally the social service people, what they do? They want to improve the society. Why? Society is bad and I am better than them. See? Once I was traveling between Allahabad and Howrah, Calcutta, many years before. Maybe 30, 40 years before. That time I was young, healthy, etc., etc. So, they gave me a ticket, I got into the train and I didn't check the ticket. And the TT came, ticket checker. I said, where is my berth? He looked at me, ticket. In Hindi he told me, get down on the next station. It was night 10 o'clock. And he went ahead. Now I said, what to do? Again he came, you are not getting down. Then I started talking to the TT in English. And I explained him that I got my morning lecture in Calcutta, I have to go. So please allow me to go. I know it is wrong, but you can always help me. Please don't say it like that. Because I spoke in English, he could not reply in English. He said, take it. That day I realized the great glory of English. Therefore, English Maiya ki jai. What could not be done through Hindi, I could do it through English. And when I was going, all the people, 3-tier compartment, everybody is, settled. And I was sitting near the toilet, sitting with my suitcase. So there was one man, highly spiritual. He opened his bottle and a glass and a water bottle, and he sat there and he started. So after the spiritual level was increased, then he looked at me. He said, Babaji, how long are you going to stand there? I said, till I reach Calcutta. Come and sit here next to me. I said, thank you. I went and sat there. So all other people in that compartment started looking at me. Oh, Babaji is also peene wala hai. Babaji is also drinking, looks like. They were sitting. And slowly the train started, was moving and all that. And he was losing his, he could not hold that bottle. I said, wait a minute, I will help you. So I took the bottle and poured in his glass. And then I said, don't worry, I not allow it to fall down. I had it. And he was drinking nicely. And after some time, Purnamada, Purnamidam, Then he slept, his head toward the window and his Charana Kamala, they were in. I was sitting there. After about 8 hours or so, he got up and then went to bathroom. He said, you are still sitting? I said, yes. No, you should not sit. Now I will sit and you sleep. I said, okay, thank you very much. I slept. And when we reached Howrah station, people came to receive me with all garlands and all that. And then he said, oh, you are a big man. I said, no, I am not a big man. I want to give you something. I said, I don't need anything. Please don't give me anything. No, I want to give. I said, why you want to give me? He said, you have not said one word about my drinking. On the contrary, you helped me. And everybody was watching me as if I am an outcast. How could you do that? I said, look here. I got simple rule in my life. If you are happy by drinking, you enjoy. Why should I suffer? Accept the world as it is. That is pure love. He said, but why don't you take? But I want to give you something. I said, okay, you want to give me something? Give me one thing. Any child who is unable to take his education on account of shortage of funds, adopt one child, whosoever the child may be, and support him financially so that he can educate himself and grow independent. Then he said, on his own, I promise you, from today onwards, I will stop drinking and the whole amount I will donate to the schools and do that. I said, very good, God bless you. Then he said, this I am doing only for one reason. You are the only man in my whole life. He was about 55, 60. First person I came across who did not tell me, stop drinking and it is bad. I said, who am I to tell you? My Lord can come in my life in any form. See, friends, don't look at the expressions. Look at who is expressing it. The whole attitude will change, friends. If we, we insist. What? Do you know that person? I don't know, but looks to be a criminal. How do you know he is a criminal? So when we can think of bad of somebody, why not we start thinking positive? And that positive attitude will slowly bring us back to our own essential nature. And when this is practiced for a period of time, then we are at peace with ourselves and we are at peace with the whole world. We have no complaints about anything or anybody. We accept the world as it is. But normally what happens? We are constantly wanting the things to change and happen according to our choice. See, the world is not a furniture. Like this chair was brought from there to put over here. Human beings are not furniture. They have to be accepted as they are. See? And when this principle you take in life, the whole life will be full of pure love. See, one example I'll give you. This happened in Bombay. In Bombay, people live in the pigeon homes. Small, 10 by 10 rooms. In a row, there will be 20, 30 of them. And one person is to come for my lectures. One day, his wife came to meet me. She said, "You have spoiled my husband." I said, "Mama, he is not the only one. There are many like this." Then she said, "Do you know how you spoiled?" I said, "I don't know." "He doesn't care for anything." I said, "What happened?" Then she said, "You know, we have got a small house, 10 by 10 front room. Next room is 8 by 6. We are 3, me, my husband, my son, and this old lady, his mother. She occupies the front room and doesn't allow us to use that room. And we 3 get, cramped in that small room. And I am fed up of her. What should I do?" I said, "Leave the place and go to some bigger place." No, it is in the heart of the city, we can't leave it." I said, "Then you tell your husband, no, he doesn't talk. What should be done?" I said, "The only option is kill her." "No, Swamiji." I said, "See, you are so good. You will not kill her. You tell your husband to kill her." No. I said, "See how nice you are. Then should I do it for you?" "No, Swamiji, why are you after killing her?" I said, "No, we are just seeing the possibilities." And then I said, "Okay, I'll tell you one Maha Mantra. If you tell this to anybody, it will rebound on you." Okay. Then I told her in her ear, "Look here, she is going to die after 285 days. Don't tell anybody. And when anywhere everything goes wrong, don't react as you normally react. Count down 280. Again something happens. 269. Again something happens. 250. Don't react. Count down how many days are remaining. When she stopped reacting, that mother-in-law's behavior started changing. And then after about 2-3 months or so, this lady came to meet me. "Swamiji, how are you?" I said, "I'm perfectly all right. Do you remember me?" I said, "No, I don't remember." "Who has forgotten God? How can he remember human being?" "I don't remember." Then, no, I came to you about my mother-in-law and you told me about her, 285 days. Then my heart started coming out and going in. Oh God, what happened? Don't know. Then she said, "Swamiji, I never knew. My mother-in-law is so good. She is not bad. I have never understood her. I was only reacting." See, friends, pure love is that where you don't react. Accept the world as it is. See, it is something like this. If you are a husband and if you are happy because your wife is good, what is your contribution? See? If you are a husband and your wife is a terrible one and yet you are happy, then you are a genius. See? Therefore, that love which does not fall in the matrix of cause and effect, that is pure love. That love which doesn't demand any change. See? One lady somewhere asked me, Swamiji, please tell me why you love me. I said, who told you? I don't love you. She said, no, please, not like that. I know you love me. Why you love me? What you like in me? I said, if I am a young hero, then I will tell, oh, I like your hair because they are like a choir robe. No, please be serious. What is that you like in me? I said, Mama, I like you as you are. Don't try to change. Be what you are. See, friends, the more this principle goes deep in our system, we will be never reacting to anything or anybody. When you stop reacting with the world, you are with yourself. And you are of the nature of pure love. Why we love ourselves? No reason. Even the criminal loves himself. Even a saint loves himself. Even a mosquito loves himself. Try to kill the mosquito, you will run away. See? I read one story in a very beautiful magazine. There was a king, and he was told by his guru, the next life you will be born as a pig. But if your minister will come and tell you everything you will remember me and everything, then that pig will be killed and you will be again born in the royal family, and then you can be a king again. So you tell your minister. He told and he died. Thereafter the minister started the search for the royal pig. And after about a year or two, he could find out all the signs in that pig. The pig was brought, given a royal bath, everything. And then in the ear of that pig, the minister said, Your Highness, and the pig said, yes, I remember everything, what my Guru told and you told me, everything I remember. And that time I agreed, but I tell you now, I never knew in the life of a pig's body that joy is, which is nowhere in the human body. See, friends, if we can be cheerfully happy where we are, in whatever condition, then alone pure love has started blooming in our heart. Whenever we complain, we insult the divine plan. What we have, we never talk about it. What we don't have, we go and tell the Lord, oh Lord, do you know, you have not given me this thing. But what He has given us, that we forget. So come to recognize this divine principle, and with that divinity, start interacting with the world and not reacting with the world. Then the pure love, which is beyond reason. Beyond reason means beyond cause and effect. And what is beyond cause and effect? Only the truth. Na jayate mriyate va kadachit nayam bhutva bhavita va na bhuyaha ajo nityaha shashvataha ayam puranaha na hanyate anyamane sharire. Upanishad Gita says that the truth is beyond cause and effect. It is neither created nor can be destroyed. That which is beyond cause and effect, abiding in that is the only way to discover the pure love. In this love, there is no demand, there is sacrifice. So, if a young husband and a boy and girl get married, they should compete how much I can sacrifice and how much I can give rather than how much I get in return. No. Compete for that. See, the life will change. See? Normally, otherwise, what happens, I have cooked, you are the dishes. See, I have made a mess in the house, you clean. No. More and more sacrifice, pure love starts blooming. And in that pure love, be very attentive. There is no tiredness. In pure love, there is no boredom. In pure love, there is no arrogance. In pure love, there is no failure. This beauty is our essential nature. Come to discover. And we all can. It is not difficult. Therefore, to conclude the talk, two topics I spoke. One is to accept the world as it is without reacting the world is an expression of love which is beyond reason, and to discover that principle which is beyond cause and effect. That is our essential nature. When these two things become perfect, like the cathode and the anode, when they come together and touch a bulb, automatically the light comes. In the same manner, when the divinity that we are and the divinity that the world is, when this is recognized simultaneously, that experience is called as pure love. All of us can, must, should practice this, and the one who has discovered this love, he is always happy. If somebody is miserable because of love, it was not love. Love does not lead to misery. Attachment leads to misery. See, this principle I learned from one lady, a Marwari lady. She was coming for my satsang, and one day her friend told me, Swamiji, she is very unfortunate. Her husband is a great drunkard, and every night he comes late and drunk. And this lady, we are surprised. He will take her with great love and put him on the bed, remove his shoes and all that, remove his belt and coat, and he will be lying down. And she will never complain one word. We don't know what she is made of. Why doesn't she separate? And she was very cool. She has no reaction. I said, Mama, congratulations if you are doing this. She says, Swami, I am not doing something great. It is this time that my husband needs me. See how beautiful it is. If I really love him, not because he gives me gifts, but I have to accept him as it is, as he is. And therefore, it is a great opportunity for me to test my love for him. See, friends, that is called as pure love. Our love is only in exchange. See? Like one man said, I got a Mercedes car for my wife. The other person said, hey, what a lovely exchange offer. Where did you get it? So love is not in exchange. It is total, without expectation. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti